Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from What? You alright?
No, a little bit less of that, please.
What's wrong?
Just got a bit of a sore head.
Oh, what was it? A little bit of the bubbly?
No, it was a little bit of the bubbly, and he does specifically say, doesn't he, little bit of the bubbly, so it's nobody's fault but mine.
Drink responsibly, kids. Coming up today, could Erick Rowan be teaming back up with Bray Wyatt?
There's backstage news on a recent alleged WWE leaver.
A huge NXT title match is set for NXT's first show on the USA Network.
Some more sad news from the UK indie scene.
And a former Impact wrestler is apparently trying out for WWE. This is the news.
Yeah, but first coming up, we have, as we reported yesterday, we have personally found Chris Jericho's AEW World Heavyweight Championship belt after he left it in a Longhorn Steakhouse after winning it. Glug, 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 etc. It is now turned up safely in the hands of and I'm always going to get this wrong, the Tallahassee Police Department. They found it yesterday. There was a bit of confusion. They posted that they found it, they added Jericho in it, and then they deleted the post, but then the local news reporters picked it up, and then AEW started reporting on it. So yes, it has officially been found. It is back in his possession, and today we learn precisely how they did that. Now, they haven't specifically name-dropped us for showing this incredible e-fit of the leading suspect. If you have any information on who he is, they are still looking for him. How do you think they did it?
I've no idea.
Do you little magnifying glass, adjusting for prints, a bit of forensics here and there?
Yeah, whenever I hear stuff like this, all I think of is zoom and enhance, zoom and enhance.
Yeah, they didn't actually zoom and enhance. What they did was they found it on the side of the road.
What?
They literally found it on the side of the road. Somebody turned it in at the headquarters after reporting that they found it along the side of a highway in Florida. The golden belt was valued at nearly $30,000. They believe that what's happened is someone has seen it unattended in that steakhouse, has taken it, and then got massively cold feet about it once they've seen the internet going wild, and just dumped it the next day. So that has safely turned up. I mean, as they say, they have not got any suspect in this case yet, other than the picture that they currently have of the leading suspect seen sniffing around the steakhouse in Florida at around the time of the disappearance. But yes, there's already t-shirts. It's been a day.
Yes.
Already t-shirts.
It's become a meme. It's taken over the internet, and then it's sort of like a little bit of the bubbly, and then there's the side note of, by the way, we nearly lost our world title.
Thing is, though, I said this yesterday. In any other age, in any other company, this is a catastrophe. It's a PR disaster. Your champion loses your belt the night after he wins it. It makes you look like a joke of a promotion. It makes you unlegitimate as a serious sports industry, and yet somehow they've lent into it so well. It's become an overnight sensation. It is a meme. They're now going to sell t-shirts off the back of it. No doubt it's going to lead into the next title feud. It's just, I cannot commend AEW enough for how they've handled it.
I, for one, cannot wait for the next episode of Being the Elite.
Oh my God, I hadn't even thought about that.
Have a field day.
Yeah, so there you go. Found it at the side of the road. If you have any information on who might have taken it, they are encouraging you. Did I write the number down? I did. How good of me. Oh, it's good. Florida Crime Stoppers, right?
Go on.
850-574-TIPS.
Oh, I love it. I love it when they put a little word in there. Also, by the way, if you have any information about Andy Murray's whereabouts, please do get in touch.
Yeah, please do get in touch. We are starting to worry.
Yes. Let's move on, though, and move on to talk about some speculation surrounding WWE. Of course, this week we saw Erick Rowan destroy both Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, seemingly splitting up that duo. And now speculation is rife that he could be coming home. You see, Rowan tweeted a gif of a skeleton with all the strings, with the quote, "I've got no strings to hold me down." And who should reply but Bray Wyatt, with 4 words, "Come home, baby boy." Of course, this made the internet explode and start people speculating that we could see a Bray Wyatt family reunion. Of course, lots of people speculating about perhaps Erick Rowan reuniting with Luke Harper. But now, he could be going back to Bray Wyatt. What do you think of this?
Please no.
Yeah,
please no.
What you said.
Bray Wyatt has been. The initial Wyatt family run was sensational. One of the best troops they've ever done. One of the best things they've ever done. Led to that match with the Shield. It was genuinely one of the best things they've done in ages. But then it stagnated for so long. Nobody involved in it could get away from it. Bray always ended up coming back to it because they could never quite establish him as a single star. Rowan and Harper never quite got away from it. Even when they did have that Bludgeon Brothers run, it was still so visually reminiscent of the Wyatt family. Braun is the only one who's managed to get out on his own because he's completely dropped the Wyatt family thing.
Remember when he had the pissy trousers?
Stained pants and the weird this weird fat face with his like beard with no moustache.
And everyone was like, well, he's crap at wrestling.
And his little nipples poking out the top of his thing. He ditched the Wyatt family thing, though, and he's done fantastic on his own. Bray Wyatt with this Fiend gimmick is nothing like the Wyatt family. Yes, it has the whole cult leader thing. Yes, it has some elements of it because he's very good at doing those, but he does not need to go back to the Wyatt family. He does not need to echo the Wyatt family at all. I would be... Look, this is great Twitter patter if it's just Twitter patter.
I think that's
if it's
what it is.
actually something serious, then boo at it.
Yeah, none of that.
Not for me, Jeff.
No, I don't want to see it. I'm happy.
I don't want to see it. Get rid of it. Take it out of here.
I'm happy for Rowan. He's doing some exciting stuff over on SmackDown. Does not need to be associated with Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt certainly doesn't need to be associated with Eric Rowan.
I don't want it. You mom.
What have we got else today?
Sorry. Speaking of I don't want it, you mom. Kacy Catanzaro, did you remember last week she'd left?
Yes.
Well, reports were that she'd left. Squared Circle Siren said she had, since not featuring for NXT since July with an injury, she had left the company, but it's kind of up in the air that now, because apparently the reports today, according to both Squared Circle Sirens and Meltzer, are that WWE are desperate to keep her, and they might not have officially formalised her actual release.
Yeah, because she tweeted she'd left, but there was no official statement.
Well, this is the thing. She hadn't necessarily tweeted she left. Her first she sort of made allusion to it. And her first tweet afterwards was not exactly the tweet you do after you leave. It was a little clip of how good she was in NXT with one of those really vague WWE style, oh, the best is yet to come, or oh, the world ain't gonna be ready for me style thing. So it was a bit of an odd one, and they are clearly keen on it because they gave her a really good spot in the Mae Young Classic. They put her in the Women's Royal Rumble, and while she's not been a regular on NXT TV, she's clearly somebody they want to build towards because she's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like all of her little clever spots and the stuff she was doing with, I think it was Rhea Ripley in the Mae Young Classic, was amazing. She could be absolutely sensational. I don't see why she would leave unless there's some kind of personal issue we're not yet aware of.
Yeah, I know there's speculation about injuries or personal problems or whatever, but I for one would love to see her stay in WWE. Not only for her relationship, but also for her career. Obviously.
I think her relationship really plays into it. She's her own person. She can do whatever she wants, in my opinion. But I hope whatever she does want to do is stay in NXT because she could be a sensational asset to that brand, IMHO.
Speaking of NXT...
Hey, we're good at these now. Hey, has the quality jumped up the last few days with just me? Coincidence, I'm sure.
I'll say nothing. Speaking of NXT, it's been announced the first match, or the first title match, I should say, we are going to see when NXT moves to the USA Network on the 18th of September, just in case
I'm a big fan of the vigorous paper thing, by the way. I do it in lots of videos.
There's no point being subtle with it.
Yep.
Yes, and it is going to be the Velveteen Dream defending his North American Championship against Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong on last night's NXT. Spoilers, set fire to Velveteen Dream's sofa.
I've not caught up on this yet. Set fire to his sofa?
Set fire to his sofa to really piss him off. Of course, they had that...
We have nowhere to sit. Of course it would.
They had the triple threat match at TakeOver Toronto, which also featured Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne ate the pinfall in that, so in theory...
Where's he going to watch box sets?
Nowhere to sit.
Is that the same sofa he was carried in on?
I do believe so.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's been set on fire. And yes, we are going to get Roderick Strong versus Velveteen Dream for the North American Championship on the first episode of NXT on the USA Network. Great.
He set his sofa on fire.
I feel like you're missing the most important point.
No, I'm not. He said, sorry, if you challenged me to a match and I set your sofa on fire, would you think the most important part of that story was we were having a match?
Yeah,
You'd be like, what the hell have you done to a sofa? You loon. Was it in his house?
All it says here was Strong set fire to the Lux couch that Dream often rides to with a stage on.
Oh, that's fine. So it wasn't like because if it was in his house, he could have burned his house.
Yeah, he's responsible with his arson.
That's attempted murder.
Yeah.
If it's a sofa in a parking lot, that's fine. That's attempted sofa side. But this is like
attempted
sofas. Yeah, top of my head. But if you do it in your house, what are the drapes?
Have you said sofa side so we can transition into your final story?
No, but I'm going to now. No, but I'm going to now. Yeah, that's a good match. I think we forget how close this first NXT USA Network episode is, don't we? Because it is right around the corner, which means, of course, that AEW's first TV episode is right around the corner. The Wednesday Night Wars are upon us, my friends, and this is a timely reminder from NXT just how strong that brand is.
Yeah.
Like, I know we think of it as developmental, but the people who are currently on it, plus any additions they get from the main roster, gee whiz.
Don't forget, pick a side and tell whoever's on the other side that they're stupid.
Wrong, idiots and wrong. Like religion.
You can't have both.
It is. How can no two religions can be right? Everyone else who does religion is wrong. Everybody else who watches anything on Wednesday night that isn't the thing you watch is an idiot and goes to hell.
Yeah. Make sure you tell them that on social media.
Gonna regret that one. Speaking of sofa side, do you know what? Thank you for that, by the way. Do you know what word sort of sounds like sofa side?
What?
South side.
It does.
Yeah, some sad news this from the world of the UK independent scene. There looks to be another British indie potentially closing down. I should say, at the time of us reporting this, there has not been an official statement from Southside, so we don't quite know the details, but what is being reported by a number of outlets is that they are either being bought up by or merging with Rev Pro in the UK, which is sort of fits the territories to an extent. Southside, now they have been one of the more interesting UK indies. They've been going for nearly coming up 10 years now. I think it would have been the 10-year anniversary next year. Pretty much everybody who's everybody in the UK scene has worked for them at some point, and they are still one of the few promotions that WWE will occasionally let you work for if you sign with them. I think, or do you have a video on demand service? So I could be wrong about that. So this is a sad one. This, if there are indeed going under. As I say, we're yet to know any reasons behind this or precisely what the details of it are, but certainly the consensus on Twitter last night amongst the UK wrestling reportage industry was that this was a bad time for Southside and they were either merging with Rev Pro or going under entirely. And this sucks because it's another one. Yeah. And I will say, it's less than a year now since Pete Dunne's big "the British indie scene is fine" tweet. It's just... it is fine, but it's only fine for very certain promotions and very certain people. Yeah, it's weird because we just had this weekend a great WWE NXT UK takeover show. A great celebration of everything that's good about UK wrestling and the people who are great in UK wrestling, but of course done purely through the lens and the outlet of one American company who are not proving overly beneficial for the majority of companies. I can't help but feel that, look, it's all well and good. If you want to set up your own UK version of WWE over here, that's absolutely fine. I just think they need to have more flexibility when it comes to letting people work for other promotions. Look, not to dig all this up again, but it was no restrictions initially, wasn't it? William Regal said there will be anybody works for us, there is no restrictions on anything, wherever they work, and then, well, that transpired that wasn't the case, and there were certain favoured promotions that they would be allowed to work for and indeed would be helped out by WWE, and other promotions that are not going to get into all of this, that they were simply not allowed to work for, full stop. They cannot use UK stars, and a lot of them have suffered as a result, mentioning no names, of course. Best luck to the guys at Southside, though. Should say the only update we have on this, as it currently stands, Southside show on Saturday, which is going to see the debut of Moose. Is it? Yeah, Moose, we might actually go to that, is still going ahead. As far as everybody knows, that is still going ahead. They've got 3 dates left, I think, booked in, and as it stands, there is currently no information that says they will not be going ahead or that there's going to be any changes to those whatsoever, so we await official confirmation from Southside as to what is going on, and we shall report that to you as and when we get it. But either way, we hope everybody involved, wrestlers, the crew, the fans, everybody at Southside, we hope things work out here. Yeah, right, let's move on to our final news story of the day, and it's being reported by Squared Circle Sirens that former Impact Wrestling knockout Scarlett Bordeaux... You've missed one there. What? Speaking of, I don't know, knockouts, or speaking of... sorry, yeah, dropped the ball there. Yeah. Anyway, Scarlett Bordeaux is... Le champion. Le champion. Is apparently trying out for W... Pardon? Does that mean the mushroom? Champignon, I think. Champignon. Is mushroom. Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying? I've no idea. No, Scarlett Bordeaux is trying out for WWE. Yes, it's been reported by their sources that she was at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida yesterday. Good news. Yeah. I think she'd be fantastic for WWE. The talent search at the minute, especially for female performers, goes far and wide. They've been trying out pretty much everybody at the minute, and I don't know, is that a lack of confidence in what's coming through with NXT at the minute? Obviously, Bianca Belair, I've already forgotten her name. Mia Yim's match was crap. Yeah, it was crap in fairness. Shayna Baszler, they've got this very nice core at the very top of the card. Yes. But I think the ones below that, they haven't got a whole load of faith in. Mia Yim, I think that kind of failed to get off the ground. Taynara Conte, who I really like, I don't think they've got a lot of, they're not placing a lot of stock in. So the next people through the door for NXT's women's division does need to maybe get up a bit, I think. She'd be great. Certainly in their mind, she'd be fantastic. She brings a bit of star power, she brings a bit of experience, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. Bit of an odd time in NXT for the women at the minute. Let us know which other female wrestlers you'd like to see in WWE in the comment section below. And we'll move on to your Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE. Starting off with a question from Sean Acklin, who says, after All Out's post-show tirade, I'm convinced we don't have enough great heel characters like Chris Jericho. Who do you guys think can come close to that level of enjoyable arrogance? Right, we sort of mentioned this before we went on. Who are you going to say? MJF. Right, now I'm going to point something out here. What do MJF and Chris Jericho have in common? Both for AEW. Scarves. Scarves. And they're not scripted. Which is the whole point. The whole reason Jericho was so good in that program, and the whole reason MJF's been so good everywhere he's gone, is because they don't work under this restraint of having loads of scripted promos.
Can you imagine thinking, so there you go, Chris, you say this, you say, Scorpio Sky, you're never going to win the belt, and then you also say a little bit of the bubbly, and that's going to go over and become a meme.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
completely agree.
The whole reason we don't get this kind of flexibility in WWE, we don't get these kind of breakout stars in WWE is because you're not allowed to do that. They give you a promo for these kind of things. Very rarely do they take you off the leash.
When I read that, a level of enjoyable arrogance, my mind immediately jumped to Sami Zayn. And like you say, if they just let him loose,
Sami Zayn,
he's annoying now.
Kevin Owens, another one who's good when he's got that level of freedom. Probably cut the best couple of promos in the recent months. Kevin Owens. Nakamura, it's a different type of thing. Obviously, he can't do verbal tirades on the microphone, but when he just gets to do what he wants and he doesn't care, like Me No Speak English was fantastic. It was fantastic.
Just please.
Give him a little bit of freedom, please. Give him a little bit of freedom.
Then the guys who can't do that stuff, you'll find out immediately and then know that
you can help them.
Yeah, you can either help them or move around on the card or whatever. Really obvious. Anyway, right, let's move on.
It's so easy to book WWE.
Move on to the second question today from Roberto Pavon. Hope I've got that right, Roberto. Who says, do you think The Fiend could attack Stone Cold Steve Austin next week in MSG, like a warning to both Rollins and Strowman?
I'll tell you what, right, it fits with what he's been doing. He attacks these legends. He's attacked Foley, attacked Lawler. If they're willing to let Austin put him over, that is probably the biggest endorsement of this character you've ever seen. But I still think they're pushing too hard, too fast.
Yeah.
I still think they're pushing too hard, too fast. Personally, I don't want to see him in a world title match. I don't want to see him in the main event of Hell in a Cell. I want to see him just bulldozer his way through most of the lower card, then most of the mid card, and then eventually start to think, well, where else can he possibly go? Oh, I hope it's not a title picture somewhere down the line.
He's going to be Universal Champion by the end of October.
I will categorically say, Austin fits with how he's been doing it, and that would be...
Imagine just like, hey, crack a beer. Glum, glum, glum.
You know, what fits though with WWE's pattern of doing these things though is that Austin stunners him.
Yes.
That he appears out of nowhere. He appears out of nowhere. Austin stunners him. He does the exact same thing. He goes to go, but Austin just doesn't put him over. That fits it. That fits it better. God, I hope they don't do that. I've already bummed myself out. Move on.
Let's move on to the final question today from Brad.
To Mr. and Mrs. Add-a-Son Bra.
Who says, if they were to have a Queen of the Ring tournament using all 4 brands, Raw, SmackDown, NXT and NXT UK, with the final 4 in a fatal 4-way at Survivor Series, who would be your 4 picks for this?
Right. Oh, God. Charlotte.
Yeah, has to be.
Charlotte, Asuka, Tegan Knox, and Baszler.
Yeah, but I was going to say Baszler has to be in there.
Yep.
I can't really complain with that.
I think that's, if you're going to get somebody from every brand, that's how you do it. Obviously, the problem with it is depends how far back you're going, because if you're going to have like 4 rounds, you can start bringing loads of people in and get a bit of a... You can have somebody upset a Bayley or a Becky or somebody like that on the way there. But if it's purely going to be quite a short-lived thing and you want to show off every single brand, then those are the 4 I'd go for.
Yeah, and in terms of the fact that we've really enjoyed this King of the Ring tournament, do a Queen of the Ring tournament in a few months.
I don't see any reason why not, although they would say the Mae Young Classic is sort of similar, but it's not main roster people.
Yeah.
It doesn't carry that level. You're not going to have a Charlotte or an Asuka or somebody who like really legitimises this as an important thing in WWE.
They should do this. They should have the Queen of the Ring tournament with, you know, all your staple Raw and SmackDown stars, and then just have a few wildcard entries to allow for that. So I realise I'm trying to bring back the wildcard rule when I say that.
Genuinely, win the Mae Young Classic, you get a spot in Queen of the Ring.
So easy.
So easy to book when you've got so many toys and so many like avenues of publication. You've got a network, you've got 3 TV channels, you've got 4 brands. It's so easy to book WWE. Let me do it.
Let's move on to today's...
No, sorry. I know you watch. I know WWE watch. Let me do it. Let me do it for a year. Let me do it. Let me make you money. And finally.
Let's move on to today's and finally. And I've got to give a shout out to the Bladed One on Reddit Squared Circle today, because pointed out something. I love it when you discover wrestlers who are always the wrestler that they are, except for on social media sometimes. Just going to read this out. So, Edge posted a lovely photo about his girls going to school on Instagram. He said both girls went to school today. Lyric is now in kindergarten and Ruby started preschool. All that sort of stuff like that, right?
Lyric.
Yeah, I mean...
Lyric Edge.
Let's move on anyway. Let's move on.
Lyric Phoenix.
Lyric Copeland.
Oh, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's not real, is it? Sorry.
And like, Natty commented on it saying, I love this picture so much.
Yeah.
But the best one is the fact the Undertaker commented on it, right? So he's obviously trying. He's a lovely guy, Mark Calloway, right? But when your name is the Undertaker, maybe don't comment.
Have an alt account.
On photos of
What's
people's
he
kids.
doing? Come on.
I'm not very good at doing an Undertaker impression. Can you do an Undertaker impression?
NRA Trump. Yeah, it's pretty good. What's it doing?
Just read what he wrote as a little comment underneath.
Most important thing is you were there to see them go.
Like, it doesn't work.
Oh, is it because he's not on the road anymore?
Yeah, he's just saying a nice thing of like, hey, no, you know, like that's a nice comment from a friend. But when it says the Undertaker said it in that voice, it just doesn't jar very well, does it?
That's weird. That.
Yeah. Any more examples of wrestlers being weird on social media? There can't be that many.
Well, they can't because they're all old and all old
really?
people are weird on social media. Ergo, there must be loads of wrestlers being weird on social media.
I want more of these.
Do you remember Scott Halls? Like when he used to tweet those really thirsty pics on
My favourite is
Instagram?
still WWE porn that's followed by quite a few wrestlers. Yeah, send them to us. Spam us.
Yeah. We did say yesterday, if you're famous and you watch the news, let us know. We're not a single famous person.
Actually, yeah.
Well, I mean, publicly anyway. Obviously, the DMs lit up. That was about it.
Right, let us know your thoughts on that. All today's news stories in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you can send us Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE. Hey, watch there. Follow both of us. You can follow him at
Adam Cleary, CLERY.
You can follow me at Adam Wilburn. You can follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. And make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling for daily wrestling podcasts, including the news out as a podcast in case you miss it and want to listen to it when you're out and about on the go. Right, my thanks to Adam Cleary. We should be in the new Bad Boys film. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you soon. News! Nailed it!